As the record plays, love. Bye. As the record just turned.
I'm Wayne Burns, and I'm the match director of the Ashland Air Rifle Range, and we have a website, Airgun Oregon, and we train and compete in air guns competitions across the West Coast and occasionally nationwide. And we got a relationship with the Ashland Gun Club here. They gave us this nice piece of land here, and we've set up a extreme bench rest and extreme field target and speed silhouette games that we play here on weekends. And this course goes up to 100 foot-pounds, and we shoot out to 100 yards on the targets out there on the stands. They're practicing right now.
There you go.
So we're one of about 50 clubs in the nation for that 20 foot-pound and less. And this extreme game is just getting started. The last 4 or 5 years, airgun manufacturers have really stepped up and want to kind of show off their equipment. So they're creating, kind of copying the AFTA format at 20 foot-pounds and creating some games that are bigger distance and more powerful guns. And that's what we're going to play with today.
Do you want to go and take a look?
Sure,
I'd love to see.
Yeah. This is a Raptor, and it's got a bottle that can be filled to 4,500 and a regulator right here. So you can see the air pressure coming out of the reg. And it's magazine fed. Cock it right here, and it advances the magazine. And adjustable, lots of different ways. This one's set up for bench rest with this block clipped on here to the rail. So it fits in the rest real nicely and rides in the bag in the back. Here's a Benjamin Gunner. We rebuild these. These are not really great out of the box. This is a Crossman product that's made by Crawl in Europe. And it's the barrel was trash, but we work on guns, and Randy put a new barrel in it and tuned it up, and it's shooting really good groups right now. We added this rail again. This is again set up for bench rest, airgun bench rest. This is a USFT that's made by my buddy Larry Durham down in California. And he designed this gun, this concept way back in 2000. And so this has got a real big plenum. This one has actually got a bottle and a regulator. But his original design is a long, big tube and low pressure fill, a lot like the Lewis and Clark guns. So this is a real nice feature with a breech open so you can see the pellet, and the swivel breech is unique. The air, see, comes out there, goes through here, swivel breech right there, and you open it up. That's your hammer, and then again pull the trigger.
There we go.
Yeah. So it's loud if I shoot it, but I'll let it go back down. And this shows you your regulated air pressure in this airplane. It's really nice.
And totally custom.
Totally custom, one of a kind. This is one he just built for me.
I was wondering what those sort of circular things on the sides of the scopes are. I notice.
Oh, this?
Yeah, most of them seem to have those.
So yeah, these scopes have a side wheel parallax. So adjusting your focus a lot of times is on the front of the scope, but when you make the parallax adjustment, the focus adjustment on the side, then you can put a real big wheel on it. And if you look closely on here, I've got distances marked on this tape.
Sorry.
So the scope will go in and out of focus as I adjust the parallax, and when it comes into focus, it tells me that it's 100 yards distance. So I clicked my turret, my elevation turret, to 100 yards. And with the wind blowing, I was set about right there. So the pellet's on its way up, and it peaks out maybe about 50 yards, and then it's dropping, and dropping pretty fast. So you've got to know your trajectory. That's why you range find with the focus. And that's 50 yards. Okay, I'm going to dial my elevation turret to 50 yards so that my crosshairs are at that distance. And now I've got to look at the wind and look at the flags. That wind's going to blow me over about 3 inches at 75 yards, 4 inches at 100, half an inch at 25. So, okay, so I dial in my elevation, I adjust for the wind, and take my shot. And that's the game right there. Because the wind is a really, really big factor. I mean, you're lobbing these things out there. This is not going 3,000 feet a second like a firearm. You've got to deal with the trajectory and the wind a lot. So that's what makes the game fun. People come from firearms and they say, oh, this field target, this is easy. They find out pretty quick that reading the wind is a really tricky thing.
I've been shooting air guns competitively now for about 8 years, and I'm just getting into the 100-yard extreme bench rest. So I'm still figuring things out, but this is the Benjamin Gunner. Stock out of the box, it's about $1,000 gun. And we went in and replaced the barrel, regulator, and a few other parts on it to make it shoot even better than what it shot. I shoot a little bit different than some of my other teammates, but basically there's a lot of people out there who shoot like I do. I use a bipod, I use a bag, a rider, and I don't really grip the gun. I just kind of let the gun lay there. And I look through the scope and I get it lined up, and then, that's about all the touching that I do to the gun. The recoil on the gun, I let the gun do its own recoil. I don't try to fight the recoil. And the hardest thing on this sport is reading the wind, because, you think, okay, the pellet's in the air less than a second. How is the wind going to affect it? Well, I have been blown 19 inches before from the wind. So that's the biggest thing is find a position that's comfortable and then stay with that and then learn to read the wind. That's the biggest thing. If you can do that, you'll be world champ.
How does one read the wind? Everybody's been mentioning the wind. The wind is a huge factor. So how do you cope with it?
Well, we put up wind flags like you'll see out there, and the wind flags spin, and they tell you the direction of the wind. Well, the problem is, in a lot of places, the wind swirls. So you'll have one flag going this direction, one flag going this direction. Well, when you see that, you don't shoot. You wait for the flags to line up. Now you have a steady wind that you can actually read. And reading it, what I always did, and a lot of people do, is I bought a wind meter, a digital wind meter. And I'd go outside and be working or something and say, okay, that's a 5 mile an hour wind. I put my wind meter up there. Nope, 6 mile an hour, so I'm a little off. And you just keep doing that, and eventually you'll figure the wind out, the speed of the wind. Now, the direction of the wind is different, but it's practice, just like any other sport. The more you do it, the better you're going to get, hopefully. But yeah, that's it. It's simple, easy peasy.
All right, well, how about you give us a demonstration shot?
I'm going to shoot the one down there so you can hear it go ding. This is 100 yards.
Just tells me which direction the wind's going.
There you go.
Yep, I heard the little ping out there. You nailed it.
But like I said, now right now the wind is perfect. Both flags are going that way, so I aim just a little to the left of the target to let the pellet drift into the target, and that's it. That's all there is to it.
Hello, my name is Matthew Hovey. I recently purchased the Jefferson State Air Rifles Company, and I've been in many trades, but studied pain and suffering, also known as mechanical engineering. And so been in this valley for about 6 years, was doing machining and engineering, and then that company got into building aftermarket upgrade parts for other air rifles, and then we designed the Raptor. And about a year ago I bought the company, and I've been redesigning. So I've redesigned the regulator, the valve, the stock here. This is my newest build, and so far all the new components are working together really nicely and performing better than I may have even hoped. So see what I can do against these guys here today.
Very nice. So you are an airgun manufacturer.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, as of been in it for about 3 years now, but owned the company for just a touch more than a year now. With this platform, you can change the caliber of barrel fairly readily, and then there's different lengths of barrels. So if you're wanting to pack it around, you can have a shorter barrel, and if you're wanting to, what we're doing today is 100 yards, and it makes it a little bit more efficient to have a longer barrel because it gives it longer time for the air to act on the pellet before it is flying. And unlike powder burners or firearms, we can very easily adjust the velocity of our projectiles. And I can shoot different types of projectiles. Here we're shooting pellets because 100 yards and under pellets have a very good ballistic coefficient, and just the way the skirts are designed, it helps stabilize it. But then beyond 100 yards, the slugs or bullets become, they carry energy farther and they become more accurate farther. But we can adjust the velocity and the pressures that we're running. And so we can quickly adjust the velocity of our projectiles compared to a powder burner where you have to weigh out your powder, and if it's a fast burning powder. And so this is much more easy to change the velocity compared to loading different powder burners.
Do you ever go hunting with these air guns?
I don't really I don't hunt big game or anything like that. We have a ranch and we have a digger squirrel problem, so we use these to dispatch them because, like I said, they're so accurate that there's no pain involved. I mean, yeah, they're a pest, but we still don't want to hurt them. We want them eradicated. So these are what we use, and they do an incredible job. So, I mean, there's so many things that you can do. There's so many fun things you can do with an air gun. Trick shots. You can do trick shots a whole lot easier with air gun than a powder burner because you don't have to worry about the ricochets and things like that. So we do a lot of light matches, shoot little paintballs, peas, aspirin, stuff like that. We'll ricochet off of a piece of metal to hit a target over here, because these pellets don't travel like a powder burner travels. So you can hunt with them. I mean, they make all the way up to 72 caliber air guns that you can hunt American bison, bear, deer, moose, elk, So you can hunt with them. I'm just not a big hunter. I like the precision aspect.
Lewis and Clark used it to help win their way across the West with air guns they got from Austria. And their guns had a magazine and a ball that they would shoot balls, and they would load a block and then put the block in front of the breech and load it in so they could shoot really quick. The natives said, well, this is really, a whole nother level. They would go and put on demonstrations, and then word would travel down the river. Before they got there, the natives were waiting for their demonstration, and so they kind of made friends instead of having to fight. Too bad that the deal was broken later by Jackson, but that's a whole other thing. These are your sighter practice targets. So you can do all the shots down here that you want for practicing to see where the wind's blowing you. Anything above this black line, there can only be 25 holes above that black line. So you want one on each target. You can't put two on a target. If you put two on a target, then you can't put one on this target. Because two on this one of those counts for this target. And that's a 0, right? Because it's outside. If you touch that little white circle in the middle, that's a 10X. And X's are kind of the tiebreaker. So if let's say that, so each one, so you got 10 points here, potential, all the way across, 25 bulls, so that's a 250 possible point total. And if you hit that little white circle every time, you'd have an X, 250, 25X. A really good winning score that can win $20,000 is I think like a 230.
Yeah, 231.
I think a 231 has been the best score. It'll be 30 minutes. I'll set the timer and call ready, set, go. Always keep your guns pointing downrange. Keep your breech open when you're not at the ready to shoot at your bench, and keep your gun at the bench, and get up and leave it when we call a cold line to go down and get our targets. And stay away from the benches at that time, please. And that's about it. Let's have some fun.
Hotline.
Okay, 30 minutes.
Then you know you're going in the right direction. Then you go all the way around.
Ooh, baby, this is going to be tough.
All right, Keegan, how are we feeling so far?
Well, I'm empty, but it's like 50-50, you know? I'm doing okay.
Remember, y'all still have 24 minutes, so take your time.
All right, this is my last shot. It's still right now. It wasn't the greatest shot, but I had a few good ones in there.
You know, in that competition I just had.
I can take that if you want.
All right.
Okay. Oh, that one's a 9. There's a. Yeah, I think that'll plug to a 7. There's a 6. 8.
I had a picture. Okay, so
It's not going
Dad
to
took
stretch.
me
That's a
with
6.
My cousin down in Texas sometime.
That'll make a 7 and a 3. So now we add up across 3, 7, 10, 16, 23, and 5 is 28, 27, 30. That's a good row. So who shot number 4? Oh, that was.
This was me.
That was
yeah,
you.
I'm waiting here with bated breath.
All right. So we can put your name right there. So 16, 22, 30, 34. That's a pretty good row. 6, 13, and 21. So 40. 21. Let's put that down here. 2, 4,
Old-fashioned
6. Yeah, 6 and 3 is 9, 11, 14, 141. Someone's got a phone, they could double check that.
All right, let's give this a try. Okay, Google. What's 28 plus 27 plus 30 plus 22 plus 34?
That's an easy way to do it.
Plus 34 is 141.
All right, 141.
The man knows his arithmetic.
Wow. Because this is minus 5.
No, so 3
Yeah.
and 5 is 8. 8 and 8 is 16. And 9 is 25.
7 and
30 cals are rough.
8 and an 8. This is a pretty good card. There's
You think?
fun.
I shoot out of Grants Pass, Oregon, and Ashland. I shoot in Ashland also. And I come down here. I haven't really shot too much in Grants Pass because of the coronavirus, and it kind of slowed everything down. So I've been coming down here to shoot field target. That's what I normally shoot. I don't normally shoot bench rest down here in Extreme, but I'm getting into it. I'm going to be buying another gun, and I'll be shooting, this game. So most of my guns are like this one here, though. I like the TMs. I prefer them.
So you've won some competitions in your past. Can you
have.
tell me a little bit about that?
I hold the USBR national record since 2005. I still hold it to this date. And in 2012, we shot in the Worlds and put Oregon on the map. We lost to South Africa.
What was it like competing in a world competition for this sport?
It was good. It was fun. It was a postal match, and I didn't even know it was really, my teammates were like, you're shooting in this, and I really didn't even know I was going to be shooting in it, but they told me I was shooting in it. So that's how that ended up. But honestly, I really didn't even know. My teammates are like, you're on our team, It's like, okay, just put me in front of the gun, I'll shoot. And then we took second in the Worlds. So that was pretty cool.
Wow.
This is speed silhouette that we're going to play right now, and there's 5 paddles set up at 35 yards. They're 7/8 of an inch diameter, about like that, just under an inch, and they're all in a row. And we're going to say 3, 2, 1, go, and whoever knocks down 5 first wins.
Wow, this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's quick and fun.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. I thought you said this was on.
It's dead on for me.
Uh-huh. I guess I suck.
Oh,
I did it again.
done!
Oh shit.
I can't use it.
Done.
Done.
DJ.
Oh, Matt
I
did
got you.
done first.
Did he?
You are no longer undefeated.
No one else has one.
Ready.
I have 2 of them. like
3,
that.
2,
Everyone else
1.
has-
Oh god. Dang it. Done.
Oh,
Son.
Wow.
2 in a row.
Wow. 3, 2, 1, fire.
Done.
Oh, good job.
Heck yeah.
Done.
Woo woo.
Nice one. Thanks, Trip.
I missed again.
Yeah.
7.1 seconds.
I said yeah pretty late.
Wow. That was like 6 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what the hell?
I'm beginning to get the sense this is not going to go so well for me.
Oh, it did work. There you go.
Go ahead and finish.
Yeah, this was a strong ass
Ah.
too.
Shame.
Next thing to happen is lighter springs with your hammer.
Got a pretty short throw.
It went from some of the guns I've seen use 200 psi per shot.
Sweet.
This one's
So you got kind of destroyed by Matt here.
Yeah, just a little bit destroyed.
Everybody show up and shoot air guns, and you'll have a blast. It's a lot of fun. There's no recoil, so you're not going to have a sore shoulder the next day, Your ears aren't going to be ringing, and it's just so much fun. And you got a beautiful course to shoot at. So, yeah, the more people we can get out and grow the sport, the happier I think people would be, because this is a stress reliever. It's to me, this is meditation. You know, you sit here and it's just you and that target and the wind.
So in your wallet, you have these two laminated groups of 10 shots. Tell me about this.
Well, these are the reason I laminated them. One, I just got a laminator, so it was kind of cool to do. But I carried these around because these are the two best groups I've ever shot at 100 yards. They're both 10 shots at 100 yards with a 25 caliber air rifle. That one right there.
That is very impressive. And I love that you're carrying it around in your wallet.
That's like my good luck charm. If I look at them and say, okay, I can do this, now I got to just read the wind and do everything. But yeah, that's what these guns are capable of doing.
At 55 yards, that's 5-shot groups, and there's the same target with the pellet stuck in the hole. So and that's that gun, you know, that's my field target rifle. That's an exceptional good group. That's why I kept it. But just to show you,
Every now and then you just have those days.
right there, and you can see, and I stuck the pellet in that group, and you can see the pellets sitting in it.
In my eyes, and if you look at the podium scores and all that, Team Ashland is probably the winningest team in the United States, in the nation right now. And we only have 3 true shooters that compete at every match that we go to. We have other team members, but they can't go to every one because they got jobs or whatever. But yeah, right now, like Wayne this year is on his way of winning 2 national titles, one in hunter rifle and one in hunter pistol. And Chris is probably in the top 3 right now, and I'm probably in the top 5. So yeah,
In the whole U.S.
in the whole United States. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So Team Ashland, we grow them good out here.
I guess so. And so you guys get to travel all over the place to do these competitions.
We've been to Michigan, North Carolina, Louisiana, Texas, Arizona, Utah, Nevada. We were going to go to Puerto Rico this year for the national championship, but we have another prior match in Arizona that we got to go to, so we won't get to go to that one this year. But yeah, we travel everywhere, and we travel right there in that van, and we camp out of that van right there. That's our kitchen, that's everything right there. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of interesting people.
And well, of course, I want to thank you so much for inviting us here to the range today.
I'm glad you came. I really appreciate you guys coming and giving us the exposure.
Yeah, well, this has been a whole lot of fun. I really appreciate you just sharing your guns and the ammunition, of course.
Well, we have so much fun. It's just that we love sharing the fun. And that's what the field target is. I mean, a lot of shooting sports are more competitive. And, I mean, we like to win, but really it's about getting together and trying to do your best. And so that's why it's a real welcoming sport. And it takes a long time to get good at it, but you have a lot of fun along the way. And a lot of people never get to the winner's circle, but they stay shooting because of the fun and getting together with everybody. And a lot of times you're able to camp out on site, so it's a camping weekend and enjoy each other and all the bullshit in the evenings. And so it's, yeah, we really like it. I've been doing it since '07. And pretty much we just travel on the West Coast, but for the bigger matches, we'll go back east. And I don't like to fly, but I'll drive my van. And it's fun. We share the driving and share the fun.
Well, it's a fascinating niche hobby. Thank you so much for sharing it with us.
Thank you for coming and thanks for shooting. We really appreciate it.